The buying and selling of real estate is big business in any economy in the world. As the population increases, more houses are needed for people to live in and offices for people to work in. But as the circle of life goes, every day people are born and every day people pass. And unfortunately, sometimes when people die, they pass their assets down to their heirs, who are the people who inherit those assets, but they have no idea what to do or how to handle the probate process. So in this video, I'm gonna break down what the probate process is and what you need to do to execute it successfully in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. But first, if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Lillian Chakwizi, and every week I hop on here to talk about all the different ways to help you sell your house as easy and conveniently as possible. And all that I ask is that you please like the video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video, because I guarantee you this will help you sell your house in a far less stressful way. So in order for you to fully understand the probate process, it will be essential to also break down the other real estate jargon when it comes to these type of transactions, so bear with me. So your first question is probably, what is probate anyway? So probate is the process of handling a deceased person's debts and their assets regardless whether or not she or he had a will. So basically it's administering the estate of someone who has died. So the next question is probably, what is an estate? An estate is everything the deceased person owned or had interest in at the time of his or her death, including life insurance. Now for each probate transaction, there is a personal representative. A personal representative is the person who is named in the will or appointed by the Register of Wills to divide the deceased person's property and pay their debts. Now, this person is sometimes called the administrator if they didn't have a will, or an executor if they did have a will. Now, the probate process is important to go through in order to get legal title to the house that you were left. Without legal title, you can run into a lot of problems and possibly even lose the home that the deceased person left you. The title is the legal way of saying you have ownership of the property and that you have the rights to use the property in whatever way that you want. It is important to note that taking title to the house and taking ownership, you also have to take responsibility for any of the debts on the house, including money owed for gas, water, sewer, electric, mortgage, and any taxes. So you gotta be prepared to deal with the negatives that come with it as well. And quick pause, guys, if this video is giving you value so far, please go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be sure to keep these videos coming. Now, how to begin the probate process for a house in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. Here are the steps of what to expect during the probate process. Now, after the person passes, rest in peace to them. You have to find and begin working with a good probate attorney. That's your first step. Your attorney will be your general advisor throughout the entire probate process. They will do such things such as file documents with the court, help solve problems on income tax issues, help collect any money received from life insurance, and so much more. Now, the second thing you need to do in the probate process is to file a petition to start the process. You'll have to file a petition with the local court office where the deceased lived. During this time, you'll need to disclose all of their heirs and beneficiaries that you're petitioning to begin the probate process. Then you'll have to work on becoming the official personal representative. Now, the next step is, once you're the personal representative or the personal representative has been assigned as either the administrator or the executor, then you'll have the authority to actually put the house up for sale. Now, you can sell directly to a local home buyer like us who will pay cash and close quickly, or you can list it, or I can also help you list it if you decide to go that route. Either way, I can definitely help you out with the sale of your property. Next, you'll have to take inventory of the estate, and this means gathering all the important documents such as a will, power of attorney, funeral arrangements, etc. Other important documents can include paperwork of stocks, bonds, cars, life insurance, bank statements, debt, and anything else you can possibly think of. Then you have to notify known creditors. You'll have to pay out claims with money from the estate to any credit card or personal loans that is owed. Now, the next thing you have to do is file income tax returns for the deceased. So you'll need to file income tax returns for the deceased, and this includes paying any inheritance taxes due. Now, inheritance taxes are something that a lot of people don't think about. They think that they can simply inherit a property and be good. But we live in America, and they gotta make money on everything. So do not forget to pay inheritance taxes. Now, the next step is to have the assets transferred to the beneficiaries. Now, at this point, the assets are transferred to the beneficiaries. So you'll have to petition the court to legally transfer all the assets to the beneficiaries of the state after all the bills are paid and the creditors have been paid as well. Now, I know this process may sound really strenuous, so I'm going to tell you a couple steps on how to actually avoid the probate process in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. Now, the only way to avoid probate process, or to help your family avoid probate process, is to put things in place before you actually die, because we never really know when that's happening. So it's best to get started on this like today. So pay attention to these steps. First thing you need to do is you need to name a beneficiary. You can do so through life insurance, annuities, and retirement plans. Next thing you need to do is to set up transfer on death accounts with your banks. You may not have ever heard about this. I've never heard about this until I did research. So by setting this up, you will be able to provide the name of an individual that you want to receive the money upon your death. And this way the account will actually bypass the probate process. And the person you designate has no right to the money in the bank until you pass. Now, the third thing you can do to avoid the probate process is to own property jointly with a right of survivorship. You can establish joint ownership of a property with tenancy, joint tenancy with right of survivorship, and community property. Now, those are all different forms of ownership that you definitely want to do more research on, so make sure you do your Googles. Now, the fourth thing you can do to avoid the probate process is to create and fund a revocable living trust. Now, in this case, a revocable living trust owns your property, but you are still in charge of all legal decisions until you pass. Now, after you pass, your trustee manages your assets according to your wishes. So those are some of the best practices in order to avoid the probate process. I really hope that was helpful for you because we deal with a lot of people who are currently in the probate process, and sometimes it's just very long and drawn out. And once you go through those steps to avoid the probate process and you decide that you actually do want to sell your Philadelphia house or in the surrounding areas, definitely give us a call, send us an email, or fill out the form on our page. We'll give you a call and give you a cash offer in the next 24 hours. And if we're not a good fit for you, we'll definitely figure out what your best options are. So definitely contact us, and we are more than willing to help you. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I drop the next video.